disabled kids. And it's a battle in a small town, and it's a privilege for us to be nominated for the award, as well as to be able to give back something to kids.
Round championship was the feared Swartland Rally, contested on public gravel roads that traversed high-speed, sweeping gravel mountain passes with fearsome drops and stunning scenery. Toyota's Johnny Gemmell and Volkswagen's Enzo Kuhn arrived at the Osram tied on 88 championship points each. So the Osram had all the makings of another epic battle between these two arch-rivals. Unfortunately for Gemmell, the fight never materialized. The championship contender was feeling ill, and to make matters even worse, picked up a puncture early on and suffered from a power-sapping misfire, all of which conspired against him to relegate him to a 5th place. Jan Habig was reunited with long-time navigator Douglas Judd. The pair needed no time to get reacquainted and finished 4th, just a few seconds behind the charging Zimbabwean Conrad Rautenbach and his flying Ford Fiesta. Double champion Hergen Fecken found his form again to end the tough Osram Rally in 2nd position. His first finish in 4 events, the glory belonged to Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson, who recorded their 2nd victory of the season. To be crowned King of the Mountains is an honour, but even more importantly for Kuhn, the victory places him in the pound seats for the remainder of the championship. Gemmell's misfortune and Kuhn's brilliant mountain victory sees a 9-point swing at the top of the championship leaderboard. With a total of 50 points still up for grabs, both Jan Habig and Conrad Rautenbach are still in with a chance, albeit a slim and mathematical one. No less than 6 events have come and gone, and now only 2 rounds remain. SA's gravel road aces have reached the final stretch, the stretch that will also decide where the coveted crown of Sasol's South African Rally champion will go. The Western Cape will once again play host to the penultimate battle as rallying returns to the Swartland. The Swartland Rally is a real gem and a real favourite for both drivers and spectators, as it is arguably the most scenic event on the entire Sasol South African Rally Championship calendar. The green and yellow wheat and canola fields, together with the mountains in the background, provide a perfect backdrop for an epic battle on the farmlands around the Western Cape towns of Malmesbury and Moorreesburg. But the farmlands will have to wait for Saturday, as day 1 action will be much closer to home for thousands of Capetonians. Friday stages are all run at or close to the famous Killarney racing circuit, and with a mix of both gravel and tarmac on the menu, teams will have to be at their very best right from the word go. With only a 9-point championship lead, Enzo Kuhn can't afford a mistake on this event, but he doesn't have to win it either.
I think we're in a good position. We have to finish the event and we have to do well. We've had a good car, we're having a good year, so I think we want to continue like that.
There are still 50 points available, but the difference between a 1st and 2nd place finish is only 4 points. Johnny Gemmell has no choice but to go for the win and hope for the best.
You know, it's still a long way to go. Whole event, 200 kilometers plus, and still the next event. So, you know, we've got to go as hard as we can and see what happens.
Jan Habig's regular 2010 navigator Ralph Pitchford is away preparing for the Dakar Rally. So long-time navigator Douglas Judd returns for yet another outing with a 6 times champion.
You know, Douglas slotted right into his old position, and we've always worked well together, and I'm sure we'll do it again on this event.
Although every event on South African soil is new to Conrad Rautenbach, he is still 4th on the points log. But points are not what the young Zimbabwean is after.
Yeah, we're 4th in the championship, not where we want to be really, so we're just going to go out there and go flat out and give it horns and see what we can do.
The biggest news to hit the service park is that Toyota stalwart Mark Cronje will not contest the remaining rounds in this year's championship. Cronje is taking a sabbatical from the sport, and it will be sad not to see him in action here in Swartland, especially considering that he won this event in 2009. Even bigger news is that Cronje's seat in the factory Castrol Toyota Auris will be filled by newly crowned Class A6 champion Leroy Poulter. At the age of 29, Poulter has already enjoyed a long and successful career in most forms of motorsport, but will now face his toughest challenge yet as the gifted youngster makes the jump from a Class A6 two-wheel drive car to the top flight S2000 machine.
I think this step though is going to be a tough one. You know, we've done a couple of mileage laps in the car, but I don't know what to expect. You know, we're going to go to it and just get through this event.
Double and defending champion Hergen Fecken won his first title here in Cape Town in 2008, but sadly for the Pretoria driver, 2010 will not yield the same result.
Yeah, look, we've had a difficult year this year, so I think basically on this event we just need to maybe apply a bit of pressure on the Toyota camp and try and get Enzo to win the championship on this event.
Cape Town favourite Jean-Pierre Damso has won this event before and will have his sights set on another good result. Charles Wilkin is probably the unluckiest driver this year with only one finish to his name, but the tarmac stages could be what he needs to turn his fortunes around.
The car's good. Hopefully we can get some more mileage and get all the bad luck behind us and get the year back on track and have some better luck.
Hein Latergan is also a former circuit racer, so he should look forward to driving on tar.
Yeah, funny enough, I think I definitely prefer dirt nowadays. I think it's getting a bit rusty. It was almost 15 years ago, you know. But I mean, obviously you never forget it all.
The top 10 on a Sasol National Rally is becoming a crowded place. Latergan will be backed up by Pertec Toyota teammate Visser Du Plessis, while Team Total will field a further 2 S2000s in the hands of Cape Townian Fernando Roida and Tanin businessman Mohamed Musa. Jaapie van Niekerk has so far not managed to translate good speed into good results and is overdue a change of luck soon, while Volkswagen will field a string of privateers in the top S2000 class. Mokopane businessman Thien Subad will come face to face with fellow polo drivers Evan Hutchison and Nicholas Ryan, and Namibian Jaco van Dijk returns after a heavy crash on the previous round. Stage 1 is just off the N7, and at only 5.5 kilometers, it provides the perfect opportunity for the teams to ease into the action. Expect the times to be fairly close, as it is extremely difficult to catch the opposition off guard and to open up a sizable gap in such a short stage. As most of day 1 is contested on tar, road position is not important. Enzo Kuhn will therefore have no problem with being the first car on the road, as he's flagged away from the Killarney start. But immediate drama for the championship leaders.
Doesn't start.
They're going to start within the next minute or two.
Now we got to push.
This could mean the end before the rally has even started. Or even worse, if the Polo doesn't fire up in the next minute or two, Kuhn could be kissing the championship goodbye. They had no option but to push the Polo clear from the control area, and then realized that assistance from other competitors is allowed, and the championship leaders were off. No such problems for BP Volkswagen teammates Hergen Fecken and Jan Habig. The Ford Fiesta of Conrad Rotenbach starts 4th, ahead of the first Toyota driven by Johnny Gemmell, and the next Fiesta in the hands of Charles Wilkin.
2, 1, go. 950. So that is a flat right through the gate. 50, left 1 continues into right 1.
2010 Swartland Rally action gets underway with Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson. The BP Ultimate Polo driver completes the short first stage in just 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
8 here, into rock, stay mid, is a right 6, open, to right 5, 80 up, left 2 over the crest, left 2 is the crest, right 3, narrow down, into left 2 here.
I was getting used to it. We had to find our way there. It was a bit difficult to read the road, but we got through it clean. We're not in too much of a big hurry today.
Defending champions Hergen Fecken and Pierre Arries are next to blast through the short spectator line stage. The time to beat is 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Over small crest, right 3, into dip, easy jump, right 2, left 8.
Fecken crosses the flying finish in a time of 3 minutes and 11 seconds, a full 4 seconds faster than Kuhn.
No, it was quite an adrenaline rush. It's very tight here at the top and it's actually quite thick. And that was fun.
Third in the championship, the third car on the road, and the third of the BP Ultimate Polos to tackle stage 1. 3 minutes and 14.9 seconds for Jan Habig and Douglas Judd. It's very close this early on. The first of the Ford Fiestas, Conrad Rautenbach and Peter Marsh adopted an all-or-nothing approach for this event, and it starts well with a time of 3 minutes and 14.2 seconds.
Right, plus in over brow into tunnel, into big crest is turned to left and cut long 3 right plus 100 up. Brow is...
This is the moment that rally fans were waiting for. The much anticipated fight between championship contenders Keane and Johnny Gemmell is now underway as Gemmell and Scottish navigator Drew Starrock rocket into stage 1 behind the wheel of the Castrol Toyota Auris. Gemmell was immediately on the pace, but unaware that danger was lurking around the next corner.
Medium left, sorry, 70. To fast right.
This could mean trouble early on.
80.
Yeah, you just gotta hit some rocks there in the road there. Yeah, the alignment's not too good, but we'll see now what happens.
A time of 3 minutes and 12 seconds is still second fastest on the stage, but a severely bent steering arm could mean the end of Gemmell's championship unless he can fix it in time. What drama to start the event. Keane almost didn't start at all, and Gemmell only has a few minutes to save this situation, or the championship could be settled on the side of the road. The time is ticking away as Gemmell desperately uses every means possible, and somehow, a few minutes later, the Auris is on its way to stage 2 with only a 10-second penalty incurred for arriving late. The championship is still alive. The Basil Reed Bizub Ford Fiesta team of Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich is desperate for a good result late in a year that has promised so much but delivered only bad luck, and starts off well by setting a time of 3 minutes and 12.8 seconds, the third fastest of all.
Left 9. Okay, do not cut anything. We've been warned. Do not cut. Right 8. 80. Very adverse left. They try to go wide.
Times are always close on a short stage like this one, as the Pertec Toyota Auris of Hein Lategan and Johan van der Merwe records a time of 3 minutes and 13.8 seconds. It's less than 3 seconds slower than the stage-winning time, but only good enough for 6th position.
Yeah, we hit somewhere at the rock, I think, in the grass at the back. Took a huge bump. Up to the right.
JP Damso is a hometown hero in Cape Town. In fact, the local driver's only ever overall rally victory was here just 2 years ago. And together with Caroline Swan, the Total Evolution Toyota Runx set the 4th fastest time on stage 1.
No, it was a tricky first one just to get into it. We got not 2 tarmac stages, so that's what happened.
The C-Track New Africa Developments Toyota Auris of Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton is the next car into stage 1. Van Niekerk is desperate to change his luck around, but started with a time just outside the top 10. The second Pertec Toyota Auris has displayed a good burst of speed in recent times, and it continues for Visser du Plessis and Gerard Snyman, who sets the 7th fastest time, in spite of also hitting Gemmell's rock.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only guy who came out with a flat wheel.
Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin start their first ever Swartland Rally behind the wheel of the S2000 Total Evolution Toyota Runx with the 10th fastest time, less than 5 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, there's a really bad bump just on the end, and we got it in the notes, but it's much worse than what we expect.
But more importantly for Musa, he was ahead of the chasing pack consisting of the Motorride Polo of Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee, the Salom Group Polo of Tian Hubert and Carl Beskin, the recently rebuilt Polo of Jaco van Dijk and Des de Fortier, and the Total Evolution Toyota Runx of Fernando Rueda and Kobus Frey. This is one of the most anticipated moments of the entire championship, the debut of Leroy Poulter behind the wheel of the second factory Castrol Toyota Auris. As it is his first ever start in S2000, Poulter is the last of the S2000 machines to take on stage 1. With 11 seconds lost, it was a slow start for Poulter and Robert Paisley.
Right, terrible. They just made
too many mistakes. I think we just got to settle down a little bit.
Less than 5 seconds stand between 1st and 10th positions on the leaderboard. Arkan Fecken is exactly where he wants to be. And with Enzo Kuhn in 9th, so is Johnny Gemmell. But Gemmel's slender advantage over Kuhn can be short-lived, as his Toyota is still somewhat damaged. A good start also for the Ford of Charles Wilkin, who occupies 3rd. After the break, Swartland Rally action moves to the famous Killarney racing circuit for a tarmac showdown in front of thousands of fanatic rally fans. Will Gemmell's roadside repairs last? Will Kuhn stamp his authority on the championship, or will a third party steal the famous Swartland Rally?